Welcome back, everyone, to SVS Level Up. I am Ben, once again, from SVS in Lancaster.
And I'm Miguel from SVS in Lancaster, and today we're playing GoldenEye 007 on the Nintendo 64. So to start off, man, how familiar are you with any of the 007, like as far as movies or video games?
I'm actually pretty familiar with them. GoldenEye, I definitely remember watching the movie.
Okay.
On VHS.
That was my follow-up question. Good. Okay.
So I definitely remember the movie. I mostly remember Sean Bean's character, he's Alec.
Yeah. That is him.
Because I have a cousin named Alex, and it was like, what? Alex? And actually, the game I played at that cousin's house. They had a 64. I didn't have a 64 as a kid, but my cousins, they had a 64. They had this game, so I definitely remember playing it at their house. But my experience with this specific game is just limited to that.
Okay.
I played the other games, like the future games. I beat a couple of them, a few of them, however many they were, but that was on the PlayStation.
Oh, okay. Well, it's funny you mentioned your family member being named Alex or whatever. My younger brother is named Alex.
Okay.
And we had the same little thing going back and forth. I was like, oh, look,
Alex,
you're in the game, dude.
It sounds like your name. It's close enough.
This game, when you do the levels and stuff, it's not really straightforward on what your objectives are. I mean, okay, you can pull it up on your little watch and stuff. You here and whatever. They're right here. Bungee jump, little background and stuff. But if you actually seen the movie, a lot of what you see on there is what you need to do, your objective. So you're kind of like replaying the movie as the video game.
Yeah, like there's some parts that I've seen in the game that I remember like being part of the movie. Like I remember there's a part where like he takes off in an airplane, and that's like a whole scene in the movie.
Yeah. It's all dramatic.
He chases down the airplane, and like I think he like throws a guy out of the plane or something, and then he flies away.
So this solo, I think, is everything leading up towards that scene, especially the next one. It is pretty funny how they do all that. I know, like, with like the movie and stuff like that, if you do know it for real, though, you're gonna be able to like just go through it pretty easy. This is like my first person shooter I ever played.
Probably a lot of people's, right? Especially like people around our age.
Yeah. The only reason I picked it up was because it was 007 and stuff. But other than that, I mean, it really is the first person shooter that I ever played.
Yeah, this was like, it's credited with being like one of those revolutionary games because it introduced a lot of people into like the first person shooter type of game.
Yeah.
And before that, I mean, there were some other games before it that were first person shooters, but this is like the one that's like, they didn't know how first person shooter was supposed to work, but they created this game and basically laid down the foundation for future first-person shooter games.
Which was your first one, like for first-person?
I mean, this is probably the first one I played.
Okay.
Because the other ones before that were like, Doom, and like I didn't play that on the Super Nintendo.
Neither did I.
So this is probably the first one I ever played. But then after that, like I played like Halo and other games.
Okay.
Those
games, way later on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this game was kind of introduced to me, like, the strafing and stuff like that you had to do that, peek around little walls and stuff. You see like an enemy, just shoot them down and stuff. But before all that, like, everything else for me was just like, little adventure games and stuff. But I know this one has some meaning to me, I guess. For all that.
I mean, here we are, 20 years or more than 20 years later. And, it's still seen as like, GoldenEye, like everybody knows.
Yeah,
that name, like GoldenEye. Yeah, that's a first-person shooter.
Yeah, of course. So I think this scene comes out in the movie. I mean, it's a long walkway. I mean, you can do all that, but I'm not gonna do all that. So I jumped off the dam, and now I'm in this facility And I always thought it was funny because you end up in the restroom, so you can see this little guy just standing there, hanging out in the stall.
Which I think that's like from the movie as well. There's like a part where James Bond is like standing outside of the stall, and like the guy opens the door, and like he's standing right there. So I think that's like at the very least replicating part of that scene.
I think it's funny that these guys are in the bathroom like just standing around here like killing company time. Like look at that. It's like we'll just wait for this Bond character. He's gonna come in.
Like he needs to use the restroom, but it's like, well, you gotta take your weapon into the stall with you.
You can never be too safe. I love these little NPCs they have, the enemies. Mm-hmm. Their animation is pretty ridiculous. Like their training they have is hopefully they do some of their cool moves. Watch, you see this guy. His reaction time is terrible. I'm right this look.
He's like, is that a human?
He's like, wait, you're not supposed to be here. Get him! Just pop a squad and start shooting and everything. Look, in his face.
Man. It's interesting how, like, these graphics, they're definitely not great by today's standards.
Yeah.
But, at the time, and this game came out in 97, I think.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was like, wow, this game looks amazing.
Well, I remember playing it back then. I was like, oh, look at all these cool things you can do. Like, look at these guns, like the detail to the guns. But like, okay, this little pistol I have, and then here's another pistol I get. There you go, my AK.
Now, when this game was getting made, like they were originally gonna make it like a 2D platforming shooting game.
Really? Kind of like a Metal Slug kind of thing, or?
Maybe that's probably what they had in mind, something like that. But then they were like, wait, this new system, the Nintendo 64, is going to be coming out soon. So let's make it for that instead. So they had to make this whole thing.
Okay, I had no idea.
And like the movie came out in 95.
Okay.
So then this was like already 2 years late when it came out in 97. But interestingly, it was coming out like right before the next Bond movie was gonna come out.
Which one was the follow-up? Do you know?
I don't remember. Tomorrow Never Dies, maybe.
Tomorrow Never Dies, I think. I think that one also got released for the Nintendo 64, and I think that one had a blue cartridge.
That one definitely was blue because I had that on the PlayStation, and the case, like the booklet, was blue.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so this came out like right before the following movie, so then it was able to use like some of the hype for that movie to sell copies of this game.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
So it worked in their favor.
Yeah, like relive the story.
From the last movie.
From the last movie. We're still here. Wait, this isn't everyone's supposed to access. Let me just go over here.
But like, I believe this is still like for the 64. This game was, a big success. Mm-hmm. And to the point that it's still like in the top 3 like best-selling 64 games.
The 64
of all time.
It got recreated. Like, it came out on several consoles, but it was. Because this is the Pierce Brosnan 007, but the remakes has Daniel Craig.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So everything's been reskins, all modernized, but with the new guy. So I think it's pretty cool. I played it on the the Wii, and those graphics, Nintendo and stuff like that. They were always, I feel, we're kind of always behind and stuff. Mm-hmm. So they weren't like the best, but I still liked it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fun, especially if it's a game you remember from your childhood.
It had an online multiplayer mode for that,
so that's cool.
It was cool. You get to play as like the, what are they, MI6?
Yeah, MI6.
Yeah, and against like these little Soviet guys. And it was cool. Like a lot of people would play it. I was surprised the amount of like players they had like on there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and apparently when they were making this game, like the development team assumed they had permission to use like everything from the James Bond series. So for like the multiplayer stuff, they created like Sean Connery as one of the characters. They were using like old Bond villains and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But then it was like, no, you don't have the permission for that. You only have the permission for the Pierce Brosnan stuff.
That's funny. Well, I know you can unlock several of like other characters like Oddjob and Jaws and all that on here as like cheat codes and stuff.
Okay.
But you don't. I think the only time you actually access those is like in multiplayer. So,
right.
Which we should check out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So this is their multiplayer. Pretty straightforward, simple, plain menu for you to select what you want to do.
Okay, sounds good.
So what kind of weapons you want to get into here?
Anything. I don't know.
Rockets? Oh, the golden gun. Do you know what the golden gun is?
No, I don't remember.
That's like a one-shot one kill thing. So whoever has the fastest draw, we'll get that. Let's try that.
Alright,
Select our characters here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Alec. I'm gonna go with Alec.
Okay, cool. I thought this Valentine guy was pretty funny, but see, here's draws.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, we got
Good
from.
job.
I don't know who this guy is.
Me neither. If he's from one of the older movies, I'm really not familiar with the older ones.
Okay.
I'm more familiar with
like
the
voodoo
Pierce
guy.
Brosnan and newer.
Yeah. I don't know. But, like I mentioned, these guys don't come out in...
Yeah, I definitely know of Odd Job. That's the guy that would, throw the shoe, right?
Yeah. No,
No, the hat.
The shoes
Austin
from Austin Powers. Yeah.
Austin Powers
Yeah,
is the shoe. Yeah, that's right. He would throw the hat.
That's funny. I remember that too. I was like, wait a minute. One of those is the other way around. Like, which one is it? All right, let's select here our map. Let's go with the library. Ooh, okay, I'm ready.
All right. Let's see how long it takes for me to lose.
I don't know these maps. I remember playing this with my brothers.
It says I picked up ammo. Does that mean I picked up a weapon?
Wait a minute. I think Golden Gun's a specific type of actual move.
Oh man, these controllers are weird because
Yeah.
it doesn't have a second joystick. So the strafing is really weird.
You gotta use your C buttons to peek and stuff. And
how do you reload once you
you push B button, I believe.
B? Okay.
Yeah, if you find another weapon, a stronger one, you find it with A, and just cycle through there.
Oh.
You can
I'm over here what other weapon do I have? And it just goes to no weapon because I don't have another weapon.
Yeah, there you go. Oh man, I don't know how big this map actually is because I'm lost. It's a little labyrinth here.
Wow, remember playing split screen video games?
Dude, would you ever get upset with whoever you're playing? It's like, stop looking at my screen.
Yeah, all the time. That was a thing. It's like, man, why are you screen watching?
I'm not gonna lie. I think we even went as far as sometimes creating an actual physical barrier. We had the vertical thing. I was like, okay, you're not looking at my screen for sure. But it was just too much work. It was like, nah, we just have to kind of trust each other here.
I feel like I'm going in circles.
If we're going in the same direction, then we're not gonna find each other. I do see a mini map here on the radar. I'm trying to get to that dot.
Okay, so presumably I'm the dot in the middle of it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll try to head in your direction. I see your dot. Oh. Are we on different floors?
Are there separate floors?
I don't know, but I feel like I should be seeing you now.
Well, I mean, I haven't found any stairs or anything.
Oh no, you got further away from me.
Oh shoot. Okay, let's see. It's a lot more exciting than just trying to find each other. We're just playing hide and seek here or tag. Okay,
oh yeah, I found a ramp. Maybe I'm coming up now.
Okay, let's see. I can't believe it's this hard to find each other.
And wait, so this game, it could do up to 4 players?
I think so, because I remember playing with all my brothers and stuff, and it's 3 of us, and
You're shooting.
that was me. I was busting some glass, because...
Oh yeah,
I see you!
I guess I should have done that. I was in a room with glass, but then, there you go. But then I started,
I gotta switch to
I went all the way around it, instead of just shooting my way through it. I don't see you. I know you're there.
I don't know if I've backed myself up into a corner. Oh, here we go. The funny thing about this game is that it has auto-aim, which makes it so much easier.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just look at me and shoot.
I don't even see
you. You ran past me.
There you are. Yeah, it's hard to see you.
Come back here, Ned Stark.
It might have to do with how small the screen with the screens are with split screen.
Just spray, man. It's got auto-aim. The whole thing, spray and pray here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh man,
yes.
All right. So me and Miguel are going to keep battling it out here. I hope you enjoyed this one, everyone. Let us know in the comments if you remember this game, if you played it as a child, or what other games you'd like to see us play. And I'm sure this goes without asking, Miguel, but does this game get your seal of approval?
It most definitely does. There you go.
Nice.
Oh, look, a secret door. Spies and all this stuff.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. We'll see you for the next one.
All right, everybody.